Hey everybody, tmac here. First and foremost, as we welcome you to the Teachable series, I hope everybody is doing as well as they possibly can. You're staying safe and making the best out of a pretty hard time. And to try to alleviate some of that stress, maybe we can do some things on Close Call, like bring back the Teachable series, a few of these here or there. This one is going to be a little different, as we're going to take a look at a situation that develops between the Yankees and Indians in September of 1981, and it's going to be more a play along as the umpire. Let's maybe get those umpire juices flowing and your brain juices flowing, in that we're going to take a situation here, but we're going to give you a little background. So, we said it's a Wednesday night game in late September in New York, so the weather's not great. Probably players are a little cranky. And we have Reggie Jackson, always stirring the pot. Pitching for Cleveland is Reggie-Denny. The umpires behind home plate, Dale Ford, and the other umpires are Joe Brinkman, Darrell Cousins, and Marty Springstead. Now, let's give you a little background. So in the third inning, there was a little brouhaha between Reggie Jackson and Denny. Denny threw him a brushback pitch, and Jackson didn't take too kindly to it. And eventually, Jackson struck out during the at-bat. Denny gave him a little look, and the benches cleared, and warnings were issued by Dale Ford. So, pretty clued into the situation. You know, this is kind of Dale Ford taking a new school approach to something that happened in the early 80s, but preventative umpiring. And a Yankee coach was ejected for arguing with Ford about warnings. Couldn't do that back then either. So then the Yankees, fourth comes up, and the Yankees are leading at this time by a count of 4-1. There's a runner on base, and let's take a look at the play. So it's a pretty cerebral at-bat. This is one of the fun things about baseball, if you're really into it, you know, trying to figure out sequences and pitches that are coming in, and you really enjoy the art of the game when you're thinking games through like that. And if you're watching this, you can think it through. So he throws an off-speed pitch, fastball, and then he hangs a curveball, and it goes really, really far. So this is 1981. This was very rare. Reggie Jackson stands and stares at home plate, walks around the bases, and then, I don't say walks around the bases, he does jog around the bases, and then a little showboating from Mr. October and tipping his hat before home plate. Can you imagine if this happened today? Players are like, you know, fans are like, players are so out of control these days. They do these ridiculous things. Here's Reggie Jackson tipping his hat before he gets the home plate. And nothing beats a sore winner, right? He hits a home run and then charges the mound. This is like the best thing ever. This is every hitter's dream, right? Hit a home run, then charge the mound. Of course, he gets ejected with Reggie-Denny. But there are a lot of things that you can look at here. You know, I can guarantee you after a batter hits a home run, the last thing that Dale Ford thinks he's going to charge the mound. But really good preventative umpiring. I love the way this is handled. You know, take a strong look at, you know, Ford understands what's going on. He sees that, you know, Denny is following Reggie Jackson around the field, and he tries to, you know, subtly stop the situation. Just one of those problems that, you know, Ford is standing in front of home plate. He sees what's going on, and he does his best to stop it, and sometimes just nothing can happen. And he tries to hold Denny back, and because he thinks Denny's the one. So you want to try to stop the guy who's the most angry, right? So it looks like Reggie-Denny's the most angry. Next thing you know, Reggie Jackson charged. Just to goes to show, sometimes fights can be prevented, and sometimes they happen, especially back then. And this is a legitimate brawl. And so how would you have handled it? You know, I mean, would you have tried to stop? Do you think some of the other this is not a situation. So this day, right, maybe the third base umpire comes in and makes sure nothing happens. But back in the 80s, the players were, you know, allowed to fight a lot more. I mean, you're talking that guys would charge the mound and not get ejected. But the video's not great here. I hope you enjoy this. Play along. How would you handle it? And one last note from me, because I think that it's interesting being a New York guy to hear Bill White and Frank Messer call a game. It's just music to the ears, and so much different than the way games are called now. You know, fair, right down the middle. So we're going to be back with a regular Teachable Moment in the coming days, but thought you might get a kick out of this one and just get your baseball juices flowing a little bit. On behalf of everybody at Close Call Sports, tmac signing off. Until next time, Happy umpiring, everyone.